bakit ako nandito?
Okay, ayan. Before we start, we would like to know how long have you been together as a boyfriend and girlfriend? Before engagement, if you can still remember. Okay.
Nakasasagot.
I think yes. I think you're the perfect person.
Walang 1 year.
Oh.
Before we got married.
Yes.
Walang 1 year.
And then?
Ganun siya ka nagmamadali.
Yeah. Already found the one.
Haba ng buhok ko.
And then, you got engaged, and how long was your engagement?
7 months.
7 months. And then, you got married, and how long have you been married? Ever since?
Almost 18 years.
Almost 8 years. Wow.
18.
18 years. Oh, wow. 18. Ooh. Okay.
So when did it all start? How did you guys got together? What was the
Courtship, yeah.
courtship conditions then?
I was serving the Lord all my life, and then at the age of 30, I made a decision that God wanted me to get married. But we made that decision together. And what happened was, I did a retreat in Balay, Mindanao. It was a guided retreat at the spiritual director. You know, I gave myself 7 days. This was the final stage of my discernment process. So it's like I've been discerning all those years, and then finally I said I had to make a decision at that time, and I did. On the 7th day, I said, "This is it. I'm deciding I'm going to get married." And while walking down the mountain, literally walking down the mountain, I had a cell phone, and I said, "Well, I can get married now, so I can court now." And then I began to think, you know, who were the women that I wanted to court. Yeah. I had a list of women that I wanted to get to know and consider, like they were candidates. And of course, number 1 was Marowe. She was working with me in the community. She was in the ministry for 4 years. We were actually seeing each other, not every day, in fact, but you know, it's like. But the first time I saw her, I was really attracted to her. 4 years before, like I was 27, 26, but you know, because I was not yet final with my decision of getting married or not, I kind of like set aside my attraction towards her, and so I mentally made a decision. And every time I looked at her, she was just about the furniture in the office. She was like a monoblock chair. So that was my mental discipline. I said, no, I'm not going to think about it. But you know, there were times when I fell and found myself looking at this monoblock chair too long. But generally disciplined myself, you know. And she never knew that I was attracted to her all those 4 years. But then at the age of, you know, walking down Balay Mountain with that decision in mind, I picked up my phone and called her up for the very first time.
While still on the mountain?
Yeah, going down. Yeah, I said hi. First time I called her home, and she was shocked, you know, that her boss was calling her at home first time, and she said, "Hi, how was your retreat?" She said, and I said, "It went well." And I'll tell you all about it. And she said, "Oh, okay." That's it. It was the most awkward phone call. Our first non-work phone call. Yeah.
How was it, Sister Marowe, when Brother Bo called you up while he was going down the mountain?
Kasi he never did that. Talagang pure work.
So you never had a crush with your boss? I mean, di parang...
Admiration. I really looked up to him. Pero other than that, wala.
So you had no idea na...
Block chair.
Grabe! Wala.
So no idea na, oh, wow, parang like ka
Hindi
na
ako
bigla.
feelingero.
Ay! Huwag manipilingera! Huwag manipilingera! Okay, so when you got together, and you were boyfriend and girlfriend, so why did you say yes? Or what made you enter that relationship? Of course, he was brother Bo. So,
Yes.
yeah, so,
Wait. When he dropped the bomb sa akin, he did it in a devious way. He actually called me and said, mag-meet daw kami sa dulo ng street. He was in the car. Get me sige, you tell me kung hindi ano. Tapos, ako naman, kasi nga, our working relationship was such that whenever he's at the office, talagang I really try my best to finish everything kasi ang daming mga nagpapa-appointment, daming letters to be signed, etc. So, talagang I really make it a point na kung free siya, kailangan matapos ko lahat ng trabaho that needs his approval. So when he said, meet me at the corner of the street, sa akin, I didn't find it weird or, hindi ako filingera. So, sa akin, trabaho lang po talaga. So, ito ako, dala-dala lahat ng mga doon sa dulo ng tapos sakay naman ako ng kotse niya, tapos, pagtingin ko sa kanya, na-relax siya, sabi ko, oh my gosh, I think I'm in trouble. Ganun pa yung, naku, siguro, pa-fire na ako. Ganun kagad yung feeling ko. Tapos sabi ko, why are we meeting here? Bigla ako nahimasmasan. Kasi pwede naman sa office. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, wala lang, I want to get to know you more. Sabi ko, patay. Sabi ko, pero, wala pa rin. I didn't get to know you more, so what? So, tapos, diba? Tapos dinagya ako sa Broadway. Yung nakakala sa Broadway Center. Diba? Siyempre kailangan siguro inisip na kailangan magtago kami or something. To avoid, gossip. That's yun. When we were in the restaurant, tanong na naman siya ng tanong. Super personal. Tapos medyo feeling era na ako noon. Sabi ko, I think that's too personal questions. Sabi ko, why are you asking me all these questions? Tapos balik na naman siya, because I want to get to know you more. Ganun siya. Tapos sabi niya, let's do this again, ha? So, yun na. Kinabahan na ako noon, sabi ko. Tapos, he started giving cheesy lines. Hindi niya maalala. Pero naalala ko kasi, he had an article for Kerigma na hindi na-publish precisely because it was too cheesy. Nabasa ko yung article na yun, he was saying na may girlfriend na siya, you are the air, you're like my asthma, mga ganun. Ganun talaga. Tapos, he started saying those words to me. Oh my gosh! Sabi ko, yung cheesy article, he's saying it to me. Tapos sabi ko, can the ground beneath me swallow me up right now? Kasi when he announced to the community that he was for married life, sorry there were certain ladies who were calling me up and saying, sino yung girlfriend ni brother ko? Chismis. Nakikichismis na sila sa akin. Kaya ako parang, wala akong alam. Wala talaga ako. Ako pala, gusto niya, parang di ba? Wala. Okay, sorry. Hindi ko pa sinagot yung tinanong, So, inulit niya ulit. Can we do this again? Sabi niya ganon. So, ang sagot ko sa kanya, I have not yet discerned my state of mind. Sabi ko gano'n sa kanya. So give me time.
Oh,
Sagot
ganun
niya,
pala yan.
huwag masyado matagal matanda na. So, therefore, that's why walang 1 year, di ba? So you get it na. Yun.
Iba pa yung wife ang nagsasalita. No? Brother Bo, I'm sure may mga ganong nagtatanong din sa audience. How did you know that Marowe was #1 on the list?
I think Rezza was sharing that a while ago. It's really values. I was looking for a woman who would, I'm basically a person of mission. My work is very unique, and I needed a woman who would understand, not only understand but support 100%. I've seen a lot of missionaries like myself whose wives had a difficult time adjusting to that kind of life, and it was so I needed a woman who would be, totally committed to the same mission. What Rezza was saying, looking at the same direction, very important, and also being able to, I think, which is what I'm very happy about, this having something like this, because we're able to share it very openly to you guys. It's really all about values. It really is all about values. And you got the right values, and you got it. You won. What else am I going to say? Yeah, there were so many things about her that I just slowly discovered that were really perfect for me, for my needs, and so once you know that the values were there, then everything else will fall into place.
How about Sister Marowe? How did you know that Brother Bo was the one?
Tama? Of course, I really prayed. And then I also had my list. And syempre, the number one value on my list is someone who really loves God and follows God. Yeah. Kasi I've had a relationship before na we serve the Lord, pareho kami, pero kulang. Kulang pa rin yun. Not just serving. Kasi iba lang yung serve ka lang, yung serve. Kasi pwede, ikaw lang yun. Diba? Iba yung alam mo talagang he's being led by the Lord and he follows.
Thank you. So now that you've discovered that you like each other, then you became boyfriend and girlfriend, how did you deal with your differences? For sure, you have, hindi man kayo parehong-pareho. For example, may isa, pwede isa late, yung isa maaga, or yung isa mabagal kumain, yung isa hindi makapili kung saan mag-date. So, how did you resolve that?
Oh, we fought, and I think they were good fights. They were good fights because we learned how to fight. We learned how to communicate. I think I've shared this already in one free talk that when we became boyfriend and girlfriend, and then when we got engaged, we were okay. But the fights began to grow when we got actually married. When we got married, that's when we began to fight more. At least for the first year of our married life. And what happened was, of course, iba yung boyfriend, girlfriend, nagkikita lang kayo, every once in a while. Although in the office, as I said, I'm so busy doing my own thing that we would hardly see each other. But when you become boyfriend and girlfriend, you have dates. The dates are very different. But when you live in one house, and then you have to, do everything together, your bills, etc., needing problems and on. So that's when the fights came out. Then we realized we had different patterns. For example, I am so kuripot. I didn't know I was so kuripot. She had to point that out to me. And so I remember our biggest ever fight was during the first year, after the first year of our married life, when we started fighting before going to the prayer meeting at the Light of Jesus. I was gonna preach, but we were fighting while dressing up in the house, and then going inside the car, we kept on fighting. And when we arrived in the parking lot, we still was fighting, and we were fighting about one thing. If I'm not mistaken, it was about, she was telling me that I am so generous to other people, but I'm not generous to myself and to my family. And so by the time we arrived in the parking lot, her makeup, not her makeup, she doesn't wear makeup, but she was just puffy-eyed, crying after crying for so long. And she said, I can't go down to the prayer meeting. So I called up Brother Pio, one of our leaders in Light of Jesus, and I said, Pio, ikaw na mag-preach. Marowe and I are fighting. So we left the parking lot and went home. That's crazy, you know?
Sabi ko, uwi na lang mag-commute.
Oo, kukumita.
Hindi alam,
So when we arrived home, we kept fighting. We just kept on fighting. And then, to that point, when we began to threaten each other, without even saying the word, we did not want to say the word separate, but we were intimating it. We were saying, I was saying, oh, ano gusto mo? Ano gusto mo mangyari? Gusto mo ng ... But as we were threatening each other on the first year of our marriage, at the end of the first year, I remember that day, that moment when we were threatening each other, I felt really the Holy Spirit just pouring cold water on me. I just suddenly felt God saying, what are you doing, Bo? Don't you dare do that. That's a covenant. Marriage is a covenant, not only between both of you. I'm included there. And so we became quiet. And I reached for her hand and I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she said sorry. And we forgave each other. And that was our last fight in the past 17 years. We don't fight anymore. We discuss. We discuss. But no more arguments, no more high voices, no more anger. We love discussing. We love talking. We just talk and talk and talk. Why fight if you can talk?
Si Ma'am Pilar talaga todo servisyo, yung pati kahit malapit lang yung ulam, talagang si Ma'am Pilar pa mag-ganon. Hindi siya kakain hanggat hindi tapos si Daddy G. So, ako, nung date na namin, sabi ko, love, medyo iba tayo ng family culture Sa pamilya ko, hindi ganon. Pagkain, kain na. Sabay-sabay kayo kakain. Parang, do you expect, ganyan tanong ko sa kanya, do you expect me to be like your mom? Tapos, buti na lang sabi niya, hindi. Kasi sabi ko, hindi ko ata kaya yung ganon. Which was being honest. Pero syempre, kumahal mo diba? Why not?
Beautiful, setting expectations, communicating. Let's find that book so that we could give it to everyone.
Remember that
10 weeks to a greater marriage. It's an old
10 weeks to a greater marriage. Baka may book nga natin. Share tayo.
CG guide natin.
LG tayo. Yan. May seminar next week. Okay. How do you keep your relationship pure? So let's talk about chastity.
When I courted her, ayaw pa niya ng konti. And then she finally gave in. I think about the third month of courtship, she gave in. She said, okay, we're BF, GF. But really, and that was
ikaw lang maganda. Madaligan talaga siya.
when she finally said yes to me, the first thing I said, I'm gonna promise you that I will not kiss you on the lips until I plant my knee in front of you to ask for your hand in marriage. And she said yes. You know, and when she said yes, I said, so during that whole time that we were boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, it was so nice to kiss her, but I would just kiss her in the forehead, halik lolo. And I think that was a very good decision on my part because I knew myself, you know. I knew that if I start with the lips, then I'll go down the neck and go down lower. So might as well not start it, you know.
Yes.
So help a lot.
Ikaw, Sister Marowe, mono-block share din ang tingin mo kay It's more of the guy's decision, better. It will help the girl.
Oh, of course. He sets the tone. So, I'm fine.
Guys, we set the tone.
Amen. Okay.
Hanggang lolo kiss lang tayo.
And just to share with you, our honeymoon was very awkward. I don't know if boyfriends and girlfriends or single people are afraid of that. Naku, if kailangan may practice ng konti para pag-honeymoon. You know, it was very awkward. Our honeymoon was very awkward but beautiful. It's like you look back at it and it took about 3 days before I finally was able to do it. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, you know. And tulang mo. Pero ano mo, pag ganun pala yan, when you look back at your honeymoon, you say, ay, galing.
Second emotion. Yeah. I think it's part of the discovery of each other and your relationship. So, brothers, alam niyo na yan. Okay?
Okay, so since we're wrapping up, what is it that you'd like to advise to young couples or those who want to get married? What advice could you give for the coming generation? Anything you want to say to us directly?
Do you believe in maybe a long engagement? Or kailangan ka 8 years before they get married? Is it okay na less than a year like yours?
It really depends. Of course, preparation is very important, as Rezza says. It's really important that you get into the relationship whole. That's what I did.
Yeah, my wife had a former relationship with a guy and lasted for an on-off relationship of 6 years. And it was a painful relationship. And when she...
Sorry.
And then she made a decision after she gave up that relationship. She said, maybe I should not have a relationship and just get healed so that I will not get into a rebound relationship. So she went through that healing phase and just went to community, served the Lord, strengthened her prayer life. So I think that was a good thing because when I finally was ready to court her, she was already complete. She was not looking for completeness. She was already complete because of what God did in her life.